My name is Idessa Tony. Welcome to my channel, Seniors with a Purpose. Thank you for joining me today to discuss a topic that is pervasive in today's society. It is about seniors who are raising grandchildren unexpectedly. There are many reasons a senior may find themselves in a situation where they're raising their grandchildren. Perhaps the parent or parents died unexpectedly. Perhaps the parents are addicts or may have been abusive, or it may be that there was violence in the home that was witnessed by the children. No matter what the reason, it has now fallen to you as the grandparent to raise, protect, and nurture the child in your senior years. Across the United States, more than 13 million children are living in homes with their grandparents. This means that 2.5 million grandparents every day are taking on the responsibilities required to raise these children. Often, other relatives step up to care for the child, and this is called kinship care or kinship placement. But today's video will focus solely on the grandparent's role in this phenomena that has become all too common. An obvious question a senior may ask is, how do I do this at this age? There are steps that need to be taken. The first is to assure that the child or children are well mentally, physically, and emotionally. An assessment of all these factors need to be made as soon as the child enters your home by making appointments with the appropriate professionals to determine what the child's needs are. Some of the grandchildren may have been traumatized, especially if they came out of homes where abuse or addiction was the problem. Rest assured that these children have witnessed events that pale in comparison to what many adults have seen in their lifetime. This is why a professional is needed to help the child process what they have experienced. Because the children have come into a senior's care unexpectedly, it is advisable to hire an attorney to get legal guardianship for the child. This is a crucial step because the senior needs the assurance that the children are in the home legally. Decisions will need to be made for the child if medical assistance is required, or issues as mundane as ensuring the child's registration in school so that the grandparent is recognized as the primary guardian and parent of that child. This step of legalizing things ensures that no one will be able to come into the home to remove a child without the grandparent's permission or authorization. Now that your life has changed, it is time to sit and make a plan as to what your new life will look like. Of course, if you're married, both husband and wife should discuss concerns related to finances and how you both will care for the children. If you're married, you and your spouse need to make a pact that your bedroom will be your sanctuary. It is advised not to allow the children or child to sleep in your bed. If the children need you at night, go and sleep with them. Do not bring them into your bedroom. This pact is necessary because if your relationship with each other breaks down, it will impact everything else in your life and will have an adverse effect on the children for sure. The most important thing to do and remember is to create some boundaries if the parents are still alive. The children have been placed in your care for a reason, and that reason must be respected in order to protect them and to care for them. They're in your home because the parents were not able to care for them, or maybe the child was abused in the other home. If the child witnessed physical violence between the parents in the home, this could also be problematic, whereby the child may need psychiatric care. This is definitely abuse. Grandparents, don't expose the child or children to the abuse again by failing to create boundaries. If the boundary means the parent will not be allowed to see the child, as the grandparent, you have every right to legally enforce this decision. You have decided that the chaos or abuse the child encountered will not be brought back into their lives, even if it means the parents never see the child again. Why? Because you are loving them, protecting them. You have vowed to care for them mentally, emotionally, and physical, their, care for their physical well being. These measures may sound harsh, but to ensure the child's safety, this is what is needed. Grandparents who are raising grandchildren for whatever reason are on an emotional roller coaster. Feelings of guilt are widespread among these seniors. They feel that they somehow failed their own child, especially if addiction was a factor. People often have the audacity to ask why they are raising their grandchild, as if it's someone else's concern. Grandparents feel alone on this journey until becoming a participant in a group with other grandparents who are doing the same thing. There are feelings of frustration, not because they don't love or care for their grandchildren. They just never envisioned that the culmination of goals and dreams they had purposed for their lives would be in raising their children's children. In my research, a grandmother shared that she actually witnessed her grandchildren being abused by her son and daughter who had become addicts. The abuse wasn't physical, but she came home one day and the grandchildren were locked in a bedroom all day and the parents were sleeping in a different room. The door was locked from the outside where the children were. This can be viewed as mental, emotional, and physical abuse, really, because they had not been fed in quite a while. The grandparent told them that the treatment of these children was appalling, but they justified their actions by saying they were keeping them safe as they slept. The parents soon separated, and this grandmother obtained legal custody of the children. And as she continued working, she hired a private daycare lady who charged $1,000 per month. This worker was great with the children, and the grandmother was able to pay this fee for a year, but it wiped out her retirement savings. There are many support systems available to grandparents if it is made known that they exist. This is empowering to the grandparents because they realize that they are not alone in this struggle to rear grandchildren. Perhaps this grandmother's savings may have been spared had she been aware of available resources when she needed them. Because of these support groups, she became aware that there were many other grandparents in the same situation as she. Seniors are honest by admitting that it is hard, very hard, raising grandchildren in their senior years. The lives they had envisioned for themselves has been replaced by taking on a more purposeful goal. And it's important to take on this role because the child or children love that they now have someone in whom they can trust and depend. There is no more instability in the child's life. So, do we surmise that seniors who find themselves parenting again as an elder are angry or disgruntled? Definitely not. They are using the strength they have been given to accept the responsibility of standing in the gap and caring for their grandchildren. This strength has fortified their resolve to love, protect, and to provide for the needs of the children, giving them hope and confidence in anticipation of a beautiful, healthy, and happy future. As I always say at the conclusion of each video, if you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe. This conversation will be continued on my website, seniorswithapurpose.com. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.